There's a plane going by. Hey, it's Chinbeard here. Two things. One, a story about me. And two, some preemptive thoughts about the show, Heroes of Cosplay. My first job out of college was the door guy at a bar. I cleaned the place up and I checked IDs. One night I was sweeping all of the bar trash out and sort of happily whistling to myself, because that's the kind of guy I am. One of the bartenders that I worked with didn't understand what I was so happy about. It had been a pretty crummy night and they hadn't made very many tips. And my share was even smaller, something like 13 bucks. She asked me if I was on drugs, and I laughed it off. I don't do drugs. I'm just an overly positive person, and I always have been. As I get older, I realize more and more that that personal positivity isn't as common in other people as I might think. When I see negativity in my life and in the communities I'm a part of, especially the cosplay community, I get pretty frustrated. I try really hard to be an outwardly positive person, and I try and be as inclusive as possible, and I try really hard to keep my frustrations to myself. I don't want to bring other people down, especially when I'm communicating to thousands of people, although I am not always successful at that. This brings me to the new show on the Sci-Fi Channel called Heroes of Cosplay. It airs tonight, August 13th, and I am very anxious to see it. The general vibe that I've been getting from the community is kind of nervous anticipation. Cosplay has never had this large of a national stage in the United States, and it's possible that NBC Universal will make a huge mess of how people in the world perceive our community. It has the potential to be the sort of thing that would turn people away from joining our ranks, which would be a total bummer. I think that a lot of people, myself included, are worried that they will crank up the drama in the show to sort of help boost the numbers. I think that Penny Arcade's Strip Search web show is a shining example of how you can make good, compelling reality content without cranking up the drama and the conflict. Keep in mind though that Penny Arcade's Strip Search show gets about a couple 100,000 views per episode, and a show like Sci-Fi's Face Off gets 1.5 to 2.5 million views, and it needs to get those kinds of numbers in order to pay for itself. So there will likely be drama on the Heroes of Cosplay show, and it will likely be made to look like that drama is between people that we all know and respect in the cosplay community. Now, I have either met or personally know many of the people that will be on the show. In that regard, the title Heroes of Cosplay is kind of fitting. Many of the people on the show are in fact personal heroes of mine, although it's not because they are exceptionally skilled cosplayers, though they all are. These people are my heroes because they are amazing, wonderful, inclusive people who lead very hardworking, inspiring lives. In fact, if I worked half as hard as Yaya Han and had 1/10 of her business sense, then my own business would be booming like crazy. So, how do we handle something that is potentially not at all what we want in a show about cosplay? First off, we haven't seen the show yet. It hasn't aired yet. So it doesn't make sense to make any sort of snap judgments. Secondly, and to my first point, we need to approach it with total enthusiasm and positivity. We need to support the creative efforts of all of the members of our growing community, especially our friends on the show. They are in fact real people who have poured their hearts and souls into the things that they make. Third, make sure you watch the show. Don't go forming an opinion on the show based on someone else's interpretation of it. Give the show a fair chance to succeed and give it a fair critique. If it isn't everything that we hoped, then we'll just have to do our best to handle our frustration in as positive a way as possible. If the show is successful, it will be because we have all come out to play and we gave it the numbers that it needs to make a second season. A second season that could potentially be better than the first season. So remember folks, it's all about overwhelming enthusiasm and positivity for everything. What do you guys think? let me know down in the comments or send me a tweet over at Chinbeard. Finally, I hit 5,000 subscribers, and it happened a lot faster than I thought it would. That means I will be shooting a costumed dance video, and that will come out here soon. I'm cranking on stuff for Dragon Con right now, so I will do that as soon as I can. Thank you all for joining in my videos, and I'll talk to you later.